Hey, what's going on? I want to show you this trade. I wasn't able to do the before and after. Actually, when I saw this, I just took it. So I actually didn't even have time to do the before and after, but let me show you what I did. So this video here is going to break down the structure as well, that I understand the structure. Now, based on some things I developed, when this line right here is touched, I had a lot of data and a lot of confidence in data that says it's going to come down here to the red line. Okay. And then I had another box here that said when this line was breached right here, as far as this top of this box, that it would come down to here. Now, this is years and years and years of back tested data. So the power behind this is if this box is not filled in, you see down here, let me take the annotations off. This is the bottom of the wick. Now, these boxes, like I said, this is proprietary. This is some stuff I came up with, but I'm going to prove to you that I understand the structure here. I'm not just trading off of some lines or whatever that I came up with. Okay. But I understand the structure and I like using this back tested data to help confirm the trade. So since price did not fill in this box right here, it was still a small amount of space left in. When I saw price, it was spiking up. Okay. So I was like, okay, well, where is it trying to go based on the structure? So based on the structure, I learned from ICT. I'm looking at this right here. This is a bearish breaker. See, this is going to fuck some people's head up right here because I'm not, somebody said I was a pattern trader. I found it disrespectful, but I get it. You know, people don't really believe people really put in work to understand this stuff. Okay. So this is ICT's teaching. So this is a bearish breaker. We got a high, we got a low, we got a higher high. This high was taken right here. So we look at the lowest down closed candle. Okay. But it's not just the lowest down closed candle. It's the lowest down closed candle that created displacement. Okay. So right here, this is the 5-minute chart. I would say this is the breaker right here because the next candle, we saw a huge push right here and it created a gap. That's the most important part. So even though price went up a little bit further, I was like, okay, well, price is probably pushing up here. I was like, price is probably pushing up here to this bearish breaker right here. Okay, let me make this red. I'm just breaking down the structure because I can't believe somebody said that I don't understand the structure. I'm just trading off of some back tested data that I came up with, but I need as many confirmations as possible to help me hold the trade. Okay, because I understand the structure. Price is supposed to return to certain areas, supply zones, and all that, but sometimes they don't do that. So when I saw this huge spike, I saw the spike right around here. Okay, so this was around like 5 o'clock, and I was thinking like, okay, well, I looked to the left. I'm like, well, price is at this area, but I like it probably need to come up here into one of these lows or this bearish breaker up here before it reverses down. Because remember, my target was down here because price did not fill in these boxes down here. This is how powerful this stuff is. These boxes have to be filled in. So if I seen a spike right here, then that means that price is only returning up somewhere, and that's where understanding structure comes in. Price is only returning up to somewhere, bearish breaker, ICT's teachings. Okay, that's who I learned from. You know, whatever you learn from, or whatever they taught you, you look for whatever price is returning up to. ICT taught me a bearish breaker. Okay, supply zone, whatever you want to call it. So I was like, okay, well, it might just come up to here. This is why I actually got in that on my first short, and I'm explaining all that. So price came up to here, but I thought it probably would continue to keep pushing. I was like, well, it's probably going to try to take this high possibly before it comes back down here to my area. Remember, I was holding for this is a target down here. So I got scared and I was like, nah, it's probably going to keep pushing. Then and we had this huge push down here. And I was like, okay, maybe it's done pushing up. But this bearish candle right here, this one told me that it was done pushing up when it closed below here. Okay. But I still didn't go short yet. I still was trying to figure it out. And then when this candle, no, actually, I'm sorry. When this low down here was taken, that's when I went short. Yeah, because I was trying to figure it out. Yeah. We see this bearish candle right here. When this candle closed, when this low was taken, that's when I went short. I went short right there. Let me zoom in. Right there. Okay. So this is a short right here. Okay. Now remember, my target is down here, not only because on my back tested data that's proprietary, this box has to be filled in. Let's look at the actual structure though. The hell with these boxes and these fibs and all that. I understand the structure. Okay, that's when people, become a little deadly with this stuff. Okay, ICT's teachings. That's who I learned from. This is a bullish breaker. We got a low, we got a high, and this we got a low here, we got a high, and then we got a lower low. Based on his teachings and the way we do this, we look at the highest up close candle. So check this out. This is the highest up close candle here. It's not just the highest up close candle, it's really the highest up close candle that created displacement. We see this highest up close candle here, and then we see 3 bearish candles in a row right after it. And we see some gaps in here. This is a 5-minute chart. So what I did was I was like, okay, well, the hell with these fibs and these back tested structures and all this stuff I have. What does the structure say? Okay. Does it make sense to come back down here based on the structure? Because the structure is king, not Fibonacci, not these back tested things I have and all that, which is very powerful. But I'm like, based on the structure, does it make sense to return? I'm like, okay, well, we got a bullish breaker right here. Price has not returned to it yet. You see, because this is the bullish breaker right here where this line is. You see, we still have a space in between the bullish breaker and this low right here. Let me show you. Let me turn back on the annotations. I'm just proving I understand the structure, not just these other things I had to come up with to kind of understand this stuff at a deeper level. This is the bullish breaker, this green box. Okay. The low is right here. So you see it has not been hit yet. So this further proved that I can hold my short, not just based on a goddamn pattern, but that's very strong and very powerful. But the structure itself told me that price has not hit that bullish breaker yet. This is ICT's teachings. You can call this area structure whatever the hell you want to, and whatever your teacher or whatever taught you, whatever this is right here. We call it a bullish breaker in the ICT camp. Okay. So I went short right there. Okay. But let me show you why I messed up at. So I'm short. Price was pushing up. I'm like, yeah, we about to hold down to my target and I'm be good to go. But then I understand the structure. Once again, I understand the structure. So I just can't be like, oh, it's definitely going to go down there in a straight line. I still have to trade what I see, not what I think. So right here, I was following the structure. When this low was taken right here, let me zoom in. I want people to really get it. When this low was taken right here, the high, if this high was taken, then the structure is broken. Okay. It made another low. Okay. When this low was taken, the highest up close candle becomes important for the structure. Okay. This is a 5-minute chart, but I was on a 15-minute and a 1 hour. Okay. When this low was taken here, this highest up close candle became important. Okay. Now, this is where I got out at prematurely. I'm going to explain why. Remember, I went short here. The reason I got out here, I'm sure you actually got out here when this candlestick closed right there where that yellow is. The reason I got out is because this is a 30-minute breaker structure right here, that turquoise line. Remember, I was supposed to be holding for price to come down to the bullish breaker, but I didn't want to be in drawdown, so I actually got out. This position right here, I didn't hold it all the way down to here. Let me pull this up to where I actually got out at. I got out where this circle is right here because the structure broke on the 30-minute chart. Okay. Let me actually say, let me save this and then let me go to the 30-minute to show you. Let me show you where the structure broke at. So what I'm saying is, this is the 30-minute chart. When this low was taken right here, the highest up close candle became important. When it got closed above right here on a strong candle. Now I didn't have a wick. That's what I should have noticed. But when you in the trade, sometimes it's not as easy as people make it seem. When you see the money going up and down. Okay, so I went on ahead and got out where that circle was. This is a 30-minute chart, so it's not showing it. This is why I got out. I'm explaining the structure here. Okay, I just don't trade on the back tested data I have and strong Fibonacci things I have. And by the way, when I use Fibonacci, I don't use the regular 61.8, 23.6, and all of that. That's cool. That stuff works. But when you really get deep into it, you're going to create your own fib levels. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge. You're going to create your own fib levels. Okay. So let me take these off right here. These are proprietary. Okay. So All right, so this is where I got out at on this short right here. Okay, so the structure looked like it was going up bullish again, so I got out. Okay, and then when I seen price close back below here, no, hold on, what did I get in at? This is the 1 hour invalidation level here. Okay, no, I didn't go long. I didn't go short right there. I went short here. Yeah, this is wrong because I got back in the short because remember my target was down here. My target was the bullish breaker. I went short here when I seen price close below this swing low on a 5-minute chart. And I hopped right in on that short right there. So this is incorrect. This is where I went short again. Because remember, I got out here. I got out because on the 30-minute chart, it was showing that structure was trying to break up on a bullish move. Now, I thought it was probably going to come up here to maybe this area here. This is considered like a bullish breaker. Okay. I thought it would come in and try to fill in this gap here and then drop. I thought it would probably do something like this here and then drop. You know, I thought it would do something like this here. I could have held on to it, but I just didn't want to be in a drawdown. So I just sold it. And I was like, I'll look for another entry. And then I thought it would come down to that bullish breaker down there. Okay. And I'm about to end the video because I don't want it to be super long. I'm just explaining my entry and my exit. So as price was chopping right here, I was like, okay, I got to get back in for a short because I understand where price is going. I was like, I'm not doing nothing unless price closes below on the 5-minute chart, this swing low or this one. We had this close right here. You see, we had this close right here. That's when I hopped in on a short again. I really wish I should have held it. I should have held that short right here. But when I seen this close right here on the 30-minute chart, I was like, you know, I don't want to sit through that drawdown. Even though I should have held on to it, I could have made even more. But, you know, I still didn't take a loss because I made money from here to here. So I got back in on the short and I rode it down to the bullish breaker and then I got out. Okay. And then price is doing whatever it's doing now. So I'm explaining that price came down to my levels right here. These are two different boxes with two different other proprietary things I came up with. These are two totally different things. These are heavily, heavily, heavily back tested. The probability of price filling in this box 100% is extremely high. So that's why I told you when it stopped right there, but the box ended all the way down here, these two. So that's how I knew price had to go lower. And we had a bullish breaker down here. ICT's teachings. Okay. We had a bullish breaker down here. Okay. So that's what made me hold on to the trade because it did not return to the bullish breaker at that time. Okay. So I'm explaining the structure here. Thanks for watching.